Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Bonsoir, bonsoir. Comment ça va? Ah, je suis claqué. Bonsoir. Bonsoir à tous et toutes. Bienvenue. Alors, premièrement, pour ne pas oublier... Voilà. En fait, j'avais un peu oublié que j'avais réussi à l'enregistrer hier. Et tout à l'heure, en faisant mes tests son, je me suis dit, tiens, Fleur, j'ai quoi comme son? Donc tu sais, j'ai testé tout ça, hop, tranquille, tranquille. Je me suis rappelé du toutou, voilà, de celui-là. Et après, je me suis dit, putain, j'en ai un sur la piste C, c'est quoi? Et il m'a surpris. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Ouais, non, mais ouais. Non, mais c'était bien. Franchement, hier, c'était un stream. C'était trop bien comme stream hier. Il s'est passé des choses. Comment ça va? Est-ce que ça va bien? Est-ce que vous avez passé une bonne journée? Bonsoir War, bien entendu. Est-ce que ça va? Est-ce que tu as passé une bonne journée? Est-ce que tu as passé une bonne journée? Attendez, faut que je boive. Elle est où mon eau? Elle est là. Et du coup, ouais, comme je disais, j'ai rajouté des musiques de jeux vidéo dans la playlist. De la playlist de stream. Ça, si vous connaissez pas, c'est un scandale parce que ça reste Tomb Raider. Mais du coup, là, j'ai à peu près 6 heures de musique sur la playlist de stream. Donc, je vais continuer à en rajouter. J'ai 5 heures de stream, pardon, de musique sur la truc de stream. Mais après, j'ai mis un peu de tout. Hein. Il y a quand même des musiques à moi. Enfin, moi. Il y a quand même des musiques un peu originales. Mais j'ai essayé de mettre des trucs de jeux vidéo parce que j'avais envie, tu vois. Et je me dis, bon, ça reste dans le thème. Et là, évidemment, je tombe sur aucune musique de jeux vidéo, j'ai envie de crever. Il se fout de ma gueule. Il se fout de ma gueule. C'est bon. Voilà. Prononciation Ware. 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 Envie de crever. Bah pour... Envie de crever. Voilà. J'ai eu du mal avant de m'en rappeler, mais ouais. Je te raconterai la suite demain, ça marche. Ok. Alors ça pue, mais ok, ça marche. C'est rarement une... Ok, mettons. Hop. Du coup, ouais, ce soir, pendant que le monde est en train de se battre, nous, on a besoin de notre dose quotidienne de dépression. On va attendre 2 minutes avant de le lancer, parce que j'ai dit que je lançais à 21h. Voilà, on va mettre celle-là en attendant. Tac. Mais ouais, du coup, moi, ça va. Oh, j'ai pas été à la salle hier, donc j'y ai été, parce que j'étais explosé, j'y ai été ce matin. Je me suis fumé les jambes. Je me suis démoli les jambes. C'est-à-dire que ça fait quasiment 2 semaines que j'ai pas fait un leg day parce que pas le temps et plus concentré sur le haut, donc je me suis dit allez, je vais reprendre calmement. En général, ce que je faisais, j'étais à 30 kilos, avec les squats à la barre, j'étais à 30-30, donc plus la barre 20, ça fait 60, 70, 80 kilos. Je me suis dit bon, allez, c'est la reprise, je vais pas jouer au con. Donc, tu sais, je commence ma petite série d'échauffement à que dalle, à 40 kilos. Enfin, voilà. Je me dis, oh putain, c'est facile en fait. Et du coup, j'ai essayé de faire plus que ma dernière séance. Bah, j'ai mis du temps à rentrer. J'ai mis du temps à rentrer. Je me suis pas blessé, hein. Pas de soucis. Hein. Mais j'ai mis du temps à rentrer. Après, je me suis achevé avec pendant que je faisais du vélo, du vélo allongé là, je sais plus comment ça s'appelle. Je me regardais un épisode de Mandalorian. Donc ça m'a au moins un peu détendu les gambettes. Mais ouais, j'ai un peu regretté parce que du coup squat, soulevé de terre, je fais pas très lourd moi parce que j'ai un peu de mal. J'ai un peu de mal à cause de mon dos. Mais ouais, les fentes bulgares, ça va. J'en ai fait ce matin. Comment tu sais que j'en ai fait ce matin? J'en ai parlé? Non, bah ouais, j'en ai fait ce matin, juste après. Et il y a mon pote de la salle, là, du coup, vu qu'il avait fini sa séance, il est resté pour qu'on discute un peu pendant que je faisais mes fentes. Donc, il me permettait... Attendez, c'est mieux. Ah oui, putain, j'ai mon accoudoir qui tombe, attendez. J'ai mes accoudoirs qui tombent. Je te stalk. Bah, c'est flippant, par contre. Sachant qu'il n'y avait... Aïe, oh putain. Sachant qu'il n'y avait aucune femme à la salle. Oh putain, si, j'ai vu un truc ce matin à la salle, ça m'a énervé. Il y a un mec... En fait, tu sais, je me promène dans la salle, en attendant, entre mes séances, entre mes séries, enfin, je me promène. Tu sais, je fais des allers-retours, tu sais, je patine, tu vois, je fais tac, hop, je me retourne et je reviens, tu vois. Et je regarde un peu vers l'entrée, parce que j'aime bien regarder qui rentre et qui part. Et je vois un gamin assis sur un siège, mais genre allez, moins de 10 piges, tu vois. Je me dis, c'est quoi ce bordel? Je suis en mode... Pourquoi il y a un gars... Qu'est-ce qu'il fait là? Il s'est perdu? Je me dis, non, peut-être que le père, il est en train de discuter avec Julien, enfin, le mec qui tient la salle. Excusez-moi, ce réflexe. Le mec qui tient la salle, et c'est... Voilà, tu vois. Et là, je vois un mec qui parle au gamin. Et ben en fait, le père, il fait sa séance, et il attend, et son gamin, il attend. Ça m'a oblitéré, quoi. Le mec, il fait ses allers-retours tranquille entre les machines, et des fois, il va voir son gamin, il fait ça. Ok. Ça m'a oblitéré. Sans déconner, j'étais en mode, mais wesh, t'es un fils de pute, toi. Peut-être le mercredi, il a pas de solution de garde, bah tant pis. Enfin, le pauvre gamin, il s'est fait chier pendant quasiment 45 minutes, quoi. Le gamin, il s'est fait chier pendant 45 minutes, ça m'a fait trop de la peine. En plus, il avait pas de téléphone, rien, parce que, bah, 10 piges, tu vois. Du coup, il était juste sur un siège tu sais, remuer les pieds, comme ça. Tu sais, quand tu fais comme ça, avec les pieds, tu vois. Oh, ça m'a fait trop de la peine. Et le père, bah les couilles, tu vois. J'étais en mode, mais gros connard. Sans déconner, gros connard. Enfin, au pire, vas-y, tu laisses ton gamin avec toi, quoi. Tu le laisses, je suis sûr, le mec de la salle, il comprendrait que tu peux garder ton gamin à côté de toi, mais non, le mec, il le fout à l'entrée. C'est limite, si un mec il prend, il se sert. Tu vois ce que je veux dire? Bref, voilà, c'est la petite anecdote, ça m'a oblitéré, ça m'a énervé. Alors que dans l'horaire, t'as des gosses de 3 ans sur des téléphones à regarder des clips musicaux assez osés, olé. Oh, ça, c'est du vécu, ça. Oh, ça... Oh, toi, t'as vu un truc, toi. Oh, toi, t'as vu une dinguerie, toi. Bon, allez, sur ce, on va lancer le jeu. Tac. On va évidemment se mettre la musique de Martinez à peu près 700 1000%. Le RER déchet. Oui, exactement, le RER déchet. Déchet. RER déchet. Tac, Disco Elysium. Hop, on va partir sur notre dépression. Industrielle. On va revenir dans notre mood. Envie de crever. Pas mal le RER déchet. Mais moi, c'est comme ça que je l'ai appelé. Toujours appelé le RERD. Je l'ai toujours appelé le RER déchet. Bon, alors, qu'est-ce qu'on faisait? Ah si, on était arrivé dans l'humain... Alors moi j'étais bloqué quand on était en train de parler à la demoiselle avec ses dés. J'ai pas fini le stream à 22h16 quand même. Est-ce que t'es en train de me dire que ça n'a pas sauvegardé? J'ai pas fini le stream à 22h16 quand même. Si? Attends, est-ce que j'ai encore la rediff sur Twitch? Attends, bouge pas. Attends. Parce que ça me plaît pas trop cette histoire là, attends. Parce que moi je me rappelle du truc avec la meuf avec ses dés. Dis-moi que j'ai encore la rediff. Dis-moi que j'ai encore la rediff. Mais attends, on a joué avant... Le 6 décembre. Le 6 décembre. Attends, se rendre sur la page VOD. vérifie, j'ai sauvegardé, attends. Ah si, j'ai sauvegardé, ok. Ah putain, c'est vrai que j'avais mon plaid, j'étais malade. Ok, fausse alerte, tout va bien, excusez-moi, j'ai eu un petit coup de flip. Bon du coup, on venait... Ah putain, oui c'est vrai. On venait d'adhérer à la théorie des races de lui, là, du fils du connard, là, pour qu'il appuie sur le bouton. C'est vrai qu'on venait d'adhérer... Alors oui, bonsoir. Bienvenue sur ce jeu si vous connaissez pas. On venait d'adhérer à la théorie des races de lui, là, pour qu'il appuie sur un bouton pour qu'il nous laisse entrer. Et du coup, on peut rentrer. Il faut aller interroger, je crois, le... Alors, je vais rappeler l'histoire. Alors, attends. Tac. Tac. Je vais rappeler l'histoire. Et le RER bagarre qui se trouve à qui se retrouve à Châtelet. Je m'étais étonné du monde qu'il y avait à Châtelet. Oh, alors ça. On peut pas avoir un résumé de l'affaire. Alors en gros, nous nous réveillons, nous ne savons pas qui nous sommes, nous enquêtons sur un meurtre. Apparemment on est un policier. Donc on doit reconstruire les morceaux, savoir où on habite, etc. Et du coup, apparemment, c'est des dockers qui l'ont lynché, et donc là, on va essayer d'aller parler au chef des dockers. Voilà, au mec qui gère le port, il y a une grève et tout. En haut des prospectus, vous lisez « Chaque travailleur égale membre du conseil ». En bas du prospectus, vous apercevez le logo du syndicat et réclamez la démocratie. Alors attendez, je vais vérifier que vous entendez bien le son du jeu. Kim, est-ce que tu peux me parler?
Yes.
Ok, parfait, vous entendez très très bien. Il y a plus de vaches que de gens. Dis donc. C'est pas très gentil, ça. Quelqu'un a laissé la machine à café allumée. Un meuble de rangement pour bureau et les tiroirs ont l'air d'être verrouillés.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Oh, Kim, t'es une petite salope, toi aussi.
Smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents
Ah mais non, c'est vrai, je suis con. Je me mettais là aussi pour Disco Elysium.
Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara.
Ilmara, putain, on dirait un nom Seigneur des Anneaux. Ilmara. Tu sais, c'est Galadriel quand elle prononce des trucs. You are coming to Ilmara. On aurait dit un mot en arabe. Je sais très, très mal prononcer l'elfique. Mais
inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Il y a quelque chose d'intéressant, les parcourir.
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Volonté intermédiaire, vous forcez à parcourir les dossiers. Et bah je suis complètement con, donc je ne sais pas faire. Let's go. Est-ce que je suis en train de faire une attaque? Oh non, j'ai plus de santé d'ailleurs. Ça commence bien. Si je laisse mes yeux divaguer complètement sans faire de mise au point, toutes les formes commencent à se fondre les unes dans les autres. Est-ce que je peux vraiment me concentrer en ne me concentrant pas? Laissez les dossiers pour le moment. On va pas jouer au con, tant pis, on saura rien. Mais mec, j'ai raté le premier jet de la soirée, j'ai envie de crever. Hein. C'est quoi ça? Un bref regard sur l'inframatérialisme. Flemme. C'est quoi ça? Carte postale, le jardin. Oh, il y a de la médecin, là. Oh, du magnésium. Let's go. On pourra se soigner le moral. Oh! Mais let's go, mec! Attends, mets les lunettes. Oh là 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 là. Le docteur de la peste. Oh, le docteur qui a des problèmes avec la justice. Une marque de fesses géante sur le coussin et des traces de café sur l'accoudoir. La radio émet un vrombissement bizarre. C'est un téléphone, ça. Oui, bon, ça on verra plus tard pour le téléphone. J'ai personne à qui téléphoner, donc on verra plus tard. Oh, let's go la manteau, le manteau.
The tarpaulin cloak is still hanging on the railing. The white rectangle of
C'est ma
the
veste
virtual citizen's village
que j'ai perdue parce que j'étais bourré.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message.
Bonsoir Dwelly. Attends, comment ça? Attends. C'est pas normal ça. Attends, on recommence. Bonsoir Dwelly. Et let's go, on a une cape. Oh là 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 là, regarde-moi ce style. Oh là 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 là. Oh là là, il manque juste un chapeau là en vrai. Comment vas-tu Dwelly? Ah bah moi ça va, écoute Dwelly, et toi comment vas-tu beau brun? Est-ce que ça va? Ça se passe bien pour la maison? De nombreuses bouteilles vides de Commodore rouge et de Pilsnasier de caractère. Au moins 3 paquets de mégots de cigarettes. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Vous entendez bien le son du jeu ou faut que je monte un peu? Je vais monter un peu. René Arnoux.
Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
Ouais, vas-y. Kim, je vais jeter un coup d'œil rapide à l'intérieur. Inspecter la cabane. Ça y est, j'ai la fibre à l'intérieur, à la maison. Félicitations. Mais dépêchez-vous, quelqu'un pourrait facilement remarquer notre présence.
Incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph.
Du coup, vous entendez bien le son du jeu ou pas, ou faut que je monte? Prendre la photo.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that?
Cet homme a quelque chose qui pique ma curiosité, je crois que je peux en faire une enquête secondaire. Je suis flic, des preuves. À part un collage de photos artistiques. Non mais je sais pas, ça me paraît bizarre.
But let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
S'asseoir et se reposer.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Je vais monter un petit peu, j'ai l'impression que c'est pas fort pour vous. Respirez profondément.
Stale air floods through your nostrils. Not a single mote of dust floats inside your lungs though. The inside of the booth is immaculate.
Oh là là, putain, Dwelly, quel homme. Mais tu m'étonnes que t'es parfait en fait.
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers.
Non allez, on se relève. On va pas se défoncer au médoc, mec. Allez, on y va. On va pas se défoncer au médoc. T'es malade ou quoi, toi? Hop. Non mais Dwelly, c'est une grosse machine. De grosses machines au repos vous entourent. Oh si, ça c'est rigolo. Un œil composite fait de la lumière halogène vous observe, mettant un faible rayonnement. Mais j'ai adoré, c'est pas un métier facile. Ah bah ça, tu m'étonnes, putain, technicien. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Oula.
Two buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block.
Hop. Ok.
Marsh.
Je vais pas toucher. je touche pas du tout pour l'instant, là, on va voir. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Il y a des trucs par terre, là. On va commencer par lire. Vous apercevez un logo industriel effacé sur la plateforme Xvalund. Nasofed, let's go, je peux me soigner. Oh, de l'argent. Bon, on va appuyer sur marche, écoute. Hein. Je pense que je peux foutre, donc on va appuyer sur marche, let's go.
A rust marsh with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
On a causé, il m'a offert du thé et tout, il m'a raconté d'où il venait, sa famille, on a appris ce qu'il faisait avant la guerre dans son pays et tout, il m'a montré des photos. Oh c'est cool, putain. Putain c'est cool, mais il y a que toi qui as des belles interactions comme ça avec des gens. Moi les gens ils auraient fait, bah je sais pas. C'est long hein, non? C'est long comme scène cinématique, non? Merci. On va évidemment essayer d'ouvrir ce conteneur, hein, bien sûr.
The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. The rusty control panel grows warm to the touch, then grows cold. It is finished. A faint smell of burning rubber reaches your nostrils. A short circuit.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Moi je t'emmerde aussi. Du coup attendez, confirmez-moi s'il vous plaît que le son est bien et que vous entendez bien le jeu par pitié. Oh.
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one of many.
Signifie... Xvalund signifie... Bah j'ai oublié, j'ai pas lu ce que c'était marqué, let's go.
Stands a cargo container. Just one of many.
Ça fonctionne à merveille, et bon bah ça va alors, je suis content. Bah je vais des quartiers nord, c'est pas la guerre mais on fuit aussi. Oh putain super.
You do? Because I don't.
Ah pourquoi pas?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
Bah il était accroché à la grue.
You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container.
Putain t'es fort Dwelly quand même.
We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
C'est vrai, mais je vais quand même ouvrir la porte.
To turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions, with some puzzlement. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside.
Le fait que c'est possible de y arriver, ça me terrifie. Persuader la porte de s'ouvrir, bah non, du coup on a plus rien à faire pour l'instant.
You're back before the cargo.
Le fait que ce soit vraiment un choix, et que je suis sûr c'est réalisable, ça me terrifie. Oh. Le chantier naval est étrangement paisible, les grosses machines sont endormies. Vos gueules. Une pile de sangles utilisée pour soulever de lourdes cargaisons. Sur l'une d'elles est écrit Vermillon. Un million. Le haut-parleur est silencieux. Personne ne travaille. Oh, il y a un truc là-haut. Putain, attends, je veux là. Ah. L'odeur persistante de pétrole et de rouille provient du fossé que vous avez, qui vous fait face. Elle vous rappelle celle du sang. Putain, c'est vrai que j'ai un vieux fusil. Clair-obscur. Affinité mécanique. Bon, on va mettre un peu de clair-obscur. Oh là là, mais quel style! Oh là là, il y a encore de l'argent, mec. Argent? Ah, j'aime l'argent. Des thermos de taille industrielle, une odeur de café brûlé flotte dans l'air. Oh là là. Oh, il y a quelqu'un là-bas. Conteneur, conteneur, conteneur. Il est fou, lui.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
Continue.
The lyrics to this container song are being made.
C'était 4 jams un peu.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to.
Les images en bas à gauche, elles me tuent. Bah arrête, il est trop beau, Kim. Et monsieur qu'on connaît pas qui a les yeux déchirés.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Le petit homme est si concentré sur son travail qu'il ne remarque même pas votre présence. Bonjour.
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
Oh, il a l'air trop mignon.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
Une ombre passe sur son visage bienveillant. C'est quoi le problème entre le syndicat et les roufions?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know.
Oh, il est trop mignon.
Gotta eat.
Folks gotta eat. T'es sérieux la ref là? Folks gotta eat. Il n'a pas l'air de... Il n'a pas l'air de vouloir attendre votre réponse.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Vous êtes Ubi, pas vrai?
Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then.
Le nouveau
Too old to
monde.
lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites avec les conteneurs? Où sont passés les ouvriers? Le port est vide, vous travaillez ici. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans ce conteneur là-bas? Désigné le transporteur. Cherche le chef du syndicat des dockers. Qu'est-ce que vous faites avec les conteneurs?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Il désigne les conteneurs qui s'empilent derrière lui.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder. The old man whistles and hums a jaunty tune.
On dit rien. Silence. Où sont passés les ouvriers? Le port est vide.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
Il se penche vers vous et vous dit sur le ton de la confidence.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
2 mois?
So no one is working?
Oh la vache.
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
Jean-Luc le raciste. Il réfléchit un instant.
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrard sent them on a nice
Ah.
vacation. For a week or so.
Il s'arrête, mais ça m'a envie de vous en dire plus. Dans quel genre de pétrin se sont-ils fourrés, Titus et ses amis?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
Il sourit tout en se penchant encore plus vers vous.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much.
Tiens,
and got
tiens,
into a fight or
tiens.
something. I heard Mr. Evrard telling them to take some time off.
Mais ils ont fait quoi au juste?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle
Il est trop mignon, on dirait le doubleur de Mario.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Ils vous regardent pour que vous l'aidiez. Ils ont un peu chahuté, Léo. Dans quel genre de bagarre étaient-ils impliqués? Est-ce qu'ils ont tué un mercenaire?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving and the words are spewing forth. Words.
Non mais c'est bien, c'est avec ce genre de personnes qu'il faut parler.
Even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about
Merde.
some drunk sawmill owner who, no, he already
Bon, c'est pas grave.
sold to a prized
On a une
fishing
idée,
rod
donc apparemment c'est
apparently
Hardy.
at some
La bande
point.
des Hardys.
You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Allez.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard.
Léonard Bellec.
Everyone calls me.
Comment il sent Bellec? Fais Bellec.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
Beaufort, putain de mon fromage.
A real pretty
Mais c'est un vrai
lady with
fromage, le Beaufort, non?
Douai sucré candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus.
J'aime trop lui parler, il a l'air trop gentil. Il a une voix trop agréable, vous trouvez pas?
But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Une minute, qui est cette Miss Beaufort dont vous parlez? Vous faites vraiment du bon travail ici, Léo. Je suis certain que ça va tomber en ruine si vous n'étiez pas là pour cirer les chaussures du patron. Oh non.
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But
Avocate.
she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day. I'm sure if me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids.
Oh merde.
Doctor Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
Il soupire et reste silencieux et vous regarde avec la douceur de ses yeux bleus. Vous faites vraiment du bon travail ici, Léo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork.
Oh, j'ai reçu un succès, le meilleur des flics.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really.
Vous pensez que ce n'était pas possible, mais son sourire s'élargit encore plus.
Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright.
Il est trop mimes. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans ce conteneur là-bas?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Cherche le chef du syndicat des dockers.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
Il tousse puis continue sur sa lancée.
Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Tout doux, je veux juste savoir où on peut trouver cet homme.
Oh, Mr. Everett is usually in his office, of course. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 p.m.
Oh merde, ok, je m'en vais.
Bye bye now.
Il est trop mims. La bannière s'affaisse sous le poids de la pluie et de la neige, des vagues blanches sur un fond rouge. Donc il doit être là-dedans, si j'ai bien compris. Oh. Le café contenu dans les thermos géants est encore tiède. Je viens de comprendre la blague, Sinistra. Et pas Laurel, attention, je viens de comprendre. Hein. Sans déconner, ça fait 10 minutes que je réfléchis. Hein. Oh putain, c'est qui? Oh putain, on dirait un méchant dans Les Indestructibles. Oh la gueule! Oh le mood! On dirait un crapaud! Regarde la gueule! Le crapaud! Alors c'est vous qui êtes à la tête des dockers, allons droit au but, un cadavre pend à un arbre, partir sans rien dire. Bonjour, je dois y aller. C'est vous qui êtes à la tête des dockers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you to...
Mister Dubois?
Please, have a seat.
Il désigne une minuscule chaise en face de son bureau géant.
I'm Everett Clare.
Ah, apparemment, donc on s'appellerait Monsieur Dubois.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
J'espère que vous n'entraînez pas rigueur.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Le lieutenant désigne la chaise d'un signe de tête tout en vous regardant.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Pourquoi vous m'appelez Monsieur Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing.
Bon, allez.
Forget about it. Filter it out.
Allez.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Il vous lance un clin d'œil. Gardez votre sérieux, essayez de répondre par un clin d'œil. Bon sang, cette chaise est un véritable supplice. Non, gardez votre sérieux, bien sûr.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens...
Bon, du coup, apparemment, on s'appelle Monsieur Dubois.
The chair is incredibly uncomfortable. Fortunately, your ass is made of iron, and the chair is
Iron
made of wood.
ass.
Iron beats wood. You manage not to shift around too much.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say.
Il sait des saloperies, lui, c'est sûr.
This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Il désigne à nouveau le chèque.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Attendez, vous connaissez Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character.
Bon, qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Merci Evart. Prendre l'énormissime chèque. Prendre le chèque mais ne rien dire. Vous pouvez le garder, merci. Vous pouvez prendre ce chèque et vous le fourrez bien profond. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On refuse le chèque avec classe, on l'accepte avec classe, ou on refuse avec colère et ou on accepte avec colère? Enfin, attends. Corruption mais je joue pas trop au con quand même. Honneur ou petite salope. J'ai pas trouvé un autre moyen de le dire là. Ah, j'hésite quand même à faire ça parce que ça a l'air d'être une connasse lui quand même. Je sais pas. Vous en pensez quoi? J'ai besoin de votre avis là. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On refuse le chèque, on est d'accord hein? Ça a l'air d'être un connard lui. Hein. On reste un flic. Hein. Un flic imperturbable. Bon après on est un déchet, mais justement on est en pleine rédemption en fait. Allez. Ton perso il est un peu con. Bah moi j'essaie de le faire un peu... je dirais la 4. Ouais allez.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts then.
Il croise les bras de son large abdomen et s'enfonce encore plus dans le fauteuil.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my
J'aurais peut-être dû accepter le
best
chèque.
hound looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move.
Ah mais c'est ça, c'est Jabba le Hutt en fait.
There is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Comment vous savez que j'ai perdu mon arme? Je suis pas inquiet, je gère. Un peu d'aide ne serait pas de refus. Comment vous savez que j'ai perdu mon arme?
I know everything, Harry. Right
Harry?
now, I know that you're
Donc,
worried.
apparemment on s'appellerait Harry Dubois.
Everything's going to be
C'est
all
pas
right.
ouf.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Ne pas paniquer.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Non, je suis pas sur le point de pleurer, essayez de rester calme.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down.
Putain, mais je suis vraiment une merde.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Continuez à glisser sur la chaise comme de la vulgaire gelée. Harry a disparu, laissez votre esprit se réfugier dans un lieu sûr. Non, continuez à glisser sur la chaise.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Non, je vais très bien, merci monsieur Dubois. Faire un geste vague là, au-dessus de la tête comme ça. Ah ouais mec, je me sens super bien, continuez de glisser. En fait, une chaise n'est pas du tout confortable, un verre d'eau serait pas de refus, se redresser, je fonds. Non, je vais me redresser.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as
Mr.
it was,
Dubois.
I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder.
Oh putain, il est pas content, Kim.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Je veux parler de la pendaison.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Je sens qu'il y a un mais.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
C'est vrai que j'ai ouvert pas mal de portes au cours de ma carrière. Les rumeurs sont fausses, Evrart, ce n'est pas le cas. Kim, c'est vrai, est-ce qu'on a des machines à ouvrir des portes?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Does this
Ça pue, ça.
ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Elle appartient à qui cette porte?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
Mais pourquoi vous l'ouvrez pas vous-même?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
Dit-il en faisant percuter ses poings.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry? A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
Il retire ses lunettes et se frotte le nez.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
Il remet ses lunettes. Je parie que vous savez rien de la pendaison.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Bon, très bien, je vais m'en occuper absolument qu'on parle de ce meurtre. Allez.
Fantastic, my
Tant pis, je suis une
friend.
salope, mais c'est pas grave.
Just let me know when it's done and we
Après,
can
c'est
take
pas
our
dit que je vais le faire,
friendship
hein.
to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too.
On va aller faire ça, comme ça on pourra discuter du meurtre et de ce qui c'est, et peut-être que j'aurai mon arme, du coup. Oh, one last thing, Harry.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Vous voulez savoir comment on a réussi à entrer?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
Je crois réellement au mystère des races et je suis content qu'il m'ait donné cette chance. J'espère pouvoir apporter ma pierre à l'édifice un jour. Envie de crever. Je suis pas un disciple racial, j'ai juste écouté une partie de ce qu'il avait à dire. Ouais, je suis un gros raciste, j'adhère complètement à ce qu'il dit. C'est une technique, j'avais besoin de passer, ça veut pas dire que je suis raciste maintenant.
Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now. And rest assured, no one's gonna hear about it. No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez.
You can see the map of Revachol in your head. Dozens of red arrows are pointing outwards from Martinez, moving all across the city.
Oups.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance.
Pouvez-vous m'aider à faire descendre un cadavre d'un arbre?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Je me suis pas muté à temps, pardon. Pourquoi serais-je impliqué dans cette affaire?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that.
Il raccroche et se retourne vers vous.
You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Bon, vous m'avez appelé Monsieur Dubois, pourquoi?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
Donc on s'appelle Harry Dubois.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
C'est mon vrai nom?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
C'en est presque
I
improbable.
think the odds of that are very low.
Ça, ma mémoire est un peu floue.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is...
Il tape sur le dossier en face de lui.
I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask.
Pardon?
Maybe I can help you out.
Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to confirm this.
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Le lieutenant inspecte Evart par-dessus les lunettes.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Comment avez-vous dégoté ce dossier?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You don't feel like either one of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
Non mais là c'est vraiment la réponse de con. Là c'est la réponse fun. Là c'est bon, ok, et j'aime pas trop ce nom. Bon bah voilà, bon bah ma foi ça me plaît bien. J'aime pas trop ce nom. Je croyais que c'était vous, Harry Dubois.
No, I'm really not. You are Harry. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you?
Est-ce que vous avez l'information sur ma famille? Est-ce que j'ai une femme ou des enfants?
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
Je suis pas du tout le genre à avoir une famille, peu importe la famille.
That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
Et sur ce dossier, quel type de flic je suis?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
Je vais vous raconter, je suis pas apologétique, je suis confiant. Je suis désolé?
Yes, you seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you.
He's probably just making a guess based on your...
J'ai quand même envie de tenter un truc, hein. Allez.
As you look at the folder, everyone covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
Ce n'est pas un dossier de la MCR.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
On dirait un personnage dans un Telltale.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
D'après le bureau du recensement, je m'appelle Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Propos de mon arme perdue.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone.
Oui, bon, ça, il l'a déjà dit.
Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Je ne tolérerai aucun chantage pour cette histoire d'arme.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood.
Il y a des gens qui
Kids could
meurent.
be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
Qu'est-ce qui se trouve dans le conteneur devant votre bureau?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
Il était accroché à la grue Svalhund.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Pardon?
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Vous allez avoir besoin de ça pour passer la porte comme bon vous semble. Merci, je demandais comment j'étais censé sortir. Chouette, ça m'insérait pas trop de rester ici.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Oh là là, c'était horrible. Un poisson empaillé qui donne l'heure. Putain, il est tard. Ah vite, faut qu'on parte là. Oh, il y a Kim qui veut parler.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Je peux encore payer le patron du café pour les dégâts.
We should take care of that then.
Je n'ai pas d'argent.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Ok. Et c'est vrai que du coup on doit faire un briefing avec Kim sur l'univers, lui, etc. Est-ce que je peux parler à lui?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the big... No trouble at all,
J'ai rien d'autre à te dire, excuse-moi mais tu m'emmerdes. Bon, et bah putain. Donc on s'appelle Harry Dubois. Eh bah écoute, est-ce que je peux essayer quand même d'ouvrir le conteneur? Juste au cas où, est-ce que je peux lui parler le conteneur? J'ai envie de tester un. Parce que ouvrir de force c'est impossible. Utiliser mon corps à la place de mon intelligence. Bon après je m'en doute mec, si j'avais réussi 3% et que l'autre fois j'avais perdu 50%, ça m'aurait énervé, hein, sans déconner. Hop. Allez, on y va. Tiens, le téléphone, on pouvait le décrocher. Parlons de la bienveillance de Kim, de ouf. Laissez votre mémoire musculaire composer un numéro au hasard.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
Vidéo Revachol, location de vidéo pour 24 heures.
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Vous me connaissez?
No. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Pourquoi je vous ai appelé?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Je m'appelle Harry Dubois. Vous savez quelque chose à mon nom?
Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one.
C'est quel genre de film?
It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
On the corner of Voyager and Maine, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol, 24 hours. It's raining and there is almost no traffic on the street.
C'est bizarre cette histoire, hein.
Footprints in the mud lead away from the front door. Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps.
Est-ce que ce serait un film qui serait commun avec notre passé?
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone. The payphone hangs.
Je peux essayer d'ouvrir ça ou pas?
The file cabinet.
Non.
The drawer.
Bah écoute, on s'en va. Bon, du coup, ouais, on a loué un film il y a 5 ans. Avec une meuf divorcée et des dingueries, donc... oh là là. Alors dites nous aider à décrocher le cadavre de l'arbre.
My unpromising race pupil entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the body.
Putain, parle plus vite.
With my...
You're so noble, Measurehead.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both fine. Goodbye.
On fera ça demain. Je peux passer ou pas là du coup? Non, toujours pas. On fera ça demain, il faut qu'on aille au bar. Enfin, on fera ça demain parce que là il faut qu'on aille se coucher, c'est pas possible. Tout le monde est parti de toute façon. Regarde, y a plus personne, mec. Il est toujours là le raciste ou pas? Oh mec, y a plus personne. Attention. Bon bah tant pis. Je m'attendais au... Bon. Je vais me faire foutre, écoute. Bonjour madame. On peut reparler? Non, on peut toujours pas parler. Oh. Non, j'ai pas mis mode streamer pourtant. C'est qui toi? Il y a toujours lui qui est en train de faire un coma. Est-ce que je peux lui remettre sa carte? Non, bon bah tant pis. Bon allez, on va aller parler à Garth. Bonjour monsieur.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it?
Je me demandais si on pouvait pas trouver une sorte d'arrangement pour ce...
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Kim s'apprête à dire quelque chose, de laisser parler.
I understand your predicament as the manager. However,
Il remonte ses lunettes.
I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and...
Il s'interrompt au milieu de sa phrase.
I mean no offense, it's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment.
Cette conversation mènera nulle part, n'est-ce pas?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. Yes, have a lot. A lot.
130, ça fait beaucoup quand même.
Yes.
Bon, faut aller dans son automotrice. Putain, mais si Kim il me paye la boule, le dormir, je vais pleurer quoi. Il est trop gentil ce mec.
Inside, you see a
Oui,
set
bon,
of
je sais, je
steering
connais.
levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect
Transport enclosure.
Regardez à l'arrière du box
Radio.
carcéral.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
C'est quoi ces trucs là?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
Et donc vous lui avez pris ses enjoliveurs?
I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence.
Pas de la corruption ça?
I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Vous vouliez installer les enjoliveurs sur votre machine?
No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
Outrageously cool.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
Navré que vous deviez vous en séparer à cause de moi.
As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier.
Merci.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Bon, je sais où est le prêteur sur gage, je vais pas faire genre. Je vais pas faire genre, je sais pas. Je sais où c'est, je vais me dépêcher parce que l'heure elle tourne là.
It's not often that I see officers from the RC.
Oh la stache mou! Roi au perché.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately. RCM or otherwise.
Mais de ouf, c'est le bro, Kim.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Sacré costume, il se pourrait que j'ai de quoi les compléter, observer les lieux, le parfait futile attirail consumériste. À vrai dire, je crois qu'une de vos marchandises vous possédez le doigt sur vos lèvres a plus de valeur, de saveur que les autres. Ouais, de l'alcool. Bon bah...
It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe.
Il a une banane en acier, mec.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Allez.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Le pyrolidon, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
C'est moi ou on crève de chaud par ici?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
Vous avez manifestement pris quelque chose, monsieur. Je ne juge pas, je fais de mon curieux. Je suis vraiment abusé de pyrolidon avant de perdre ma mémoire. Du calme, je suis juste flic cool qui aimerait bien goûter à votre cam. Ça pète vers chez moi. Vous entendez? Ouais, je crois que vous entendez, hein. Attends, faut que je parle en même temps, en fait, je pense, pour que vous entendiez. Là. C'est en train de péter de ouf. Bon, bref. Vous avez manifestement pris quelque chose, monsieur. J'entends rien? Bon, bah, tant pis. C'est pour quelle raison que ça pète, du coup? Ah, je me doute, mais... Il tousse comme une... Ouais. Le match. Non mais certainement du coup. Mais je veux savoir c'est quel camp qui va taper sur les autres du coup.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
La pile populaire. Racontez-moi un peu plus sur cette brigade de secours d'urgence dont vous faisiez partie. Ça va être facile. Bon, merci pour votre aide. Franchement, je m'en bats les couilles.
Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question.
Quoi?
Promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Ah, 2-0, ok. Oh, attends, il y a un mec qui est venu. Il a vendu l'arme que moi je lui ai laissée?
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Au moins, je sais comment j'ai perdu mon arme de poing par d'autres choses.
Of course.
Je sais comment j'ai perdu mon arme. Bon alors.
Sure thing.
C'était aussi quelqu'un de la police.
She didn't seem like a policeman.
Elle a fait elle.
Although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her
Donc c'est une femme.
a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Elle fait partie des groupies fanatiques, elle doit peut-être jouer avec les justiciers et prouver qu'elle peut faire notre boulot mieux que nous. Ça me plaît pas du tout non plus, et si on lui prenait l'envie de commettre un crime et de faire porter le chapeau à la Miss Mitoyen. Pardon, désolé d'avoir vendu mon arme.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
Il regarde autour de lui, inquiet. Vous savez où je peux trouver cette personne?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Est-ce que les membres du syndicat et d'Everard Leclerc sont venus ici pour retrouver mon arme?
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to
Oh putain, oh c'est la
I
merde.
told them I already sold it.
Ah c'est la merde un peu là, non?
They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Wait, then it might be true. Everard's claims.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
Bon, c'est la merde. C'est la merde.
Sure, man.
J'ai quelque chose à vendre.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
200.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
Il fout le reste dans sa poche quand même. Hein.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Putain, mais... Sans déconner. Kim, le bro, mec. Kim, c'est le plus beau des Kim, en fait. Bon, vite, on va voir Egart, parce que il faut qu'on aille faire le récap du soir avec avec Kim. Bonjour, monsieur. Bah, écoutez, voici vos 130 $, vos 130 réals. Mais en vrai, moi, je suis dans mon lore, mon flic, il est...
Yes. Well.
Balancer les billes, voilà, désolé, tenez, navré pour le dérangement. Je le vois vraiment en mode un peu reddition, enfin, genre, tu sais, genre une rédemption, tu vois.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Voilà, on a une chambre grâce à Kim. Mais putain, mais Kim. J'ai envie de mettre un peu de volonté quand même. Ou alors je mets encore la mise en scène, réactivité, affinité mécanique, sang-froid. Ça c'est bien ça. Bon allez, on va aller se mettre sur le balcon avec Kim et on va aller discuter un petit peu. Est-ce que je peux te taper à la porte ou pas?
The door is...
Non.
This is the door to the room you redecorate.
Mais non!
Just a moment. You had some questions.
Ah oui, voilà,
earlier,
parfait.
I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation.
J'ai eu peur.
Let's go out to the balcony.
J'ai eu peur. J'ai cru que j'avais raté la seule occasion que j'avais de discuter avec Kim. Bon, allez, c'est parti.
Outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
Il allume une cigarette. Je sais pas que vous fumiez. Que pensez-vous du déroulement de cette journée? Quels sont les pouvoirs de la MCR?
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Non.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
Que pensez-vous du déroulement de cette journée?
Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was
C'est un bon point, il n'est pas facile de l'approcher de son état, mais nous avons réussi.
Our inspection could have been more.
Excusez-moi, on n'entendait pas quand il
It
parlait.
always can, but we have some leads we can follow up on. Then you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal, and we still have to get him down from the tree.
Je n'arrive toujours pas à croire que je manque un peu de pratique. Je n'arrive toujours pas à croire que j'ai raté ce tir. Je manque un peu de pratique.
Being sober also tends to help with precision. But moving on to the interviews. We conducted an interview with Everard Clare. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
Je suis sûr que je peux lui tirer les verres du nez.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. Moving on. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that tomorrow. Above all though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard place in 40-hour practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
J'aime pas perdre de temps, vous savez quoi, mon esprit est agile, le reste droit doit essayer de suivre, je m'entraîne pour une course de fond, vous devez collecter des fonds pour une association caritative. C'est comme ça qu'on fait au 41, j'ignore pourquoi j'agis comme ça, lieutenant Kitsuragi.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
Quels sont les pouvoirs de la MCR, exactement?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1000, c'est tout?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Ne serait-ce pas un pouvoir dont il serait facile d'abuser? D'accord, quoi d'autre?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Attendez, comment pouvez-vous être sûr que la personne arrêtée ne se présentera?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
Je vois, et si quelqu'un résiste?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
Qu'arrive-t-il aux attendez, donc si je tue quelqu'un en service, qu'arrive-t-il aux personnes que nous condamnons? Donc si je tue quelqu'un en service...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
Qu'arrive-t-il aux personnes que nous condamnons?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
Et qui fixe toutes ces règles?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
L'air absent, il fixe une fenêtre en dessous dont la lumière vient de s'éteindre.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Ne rien dire.
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
C'est quoi la morale interne?
The Moralists International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
Si je ne le savais pas, comment les décririez-vous?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
En quoi croient-ils?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Ok, quel est leur symbole?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something even a little feminine. But in a strict manner. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Qui était Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
For you, she is something painful.
Ok.
Though it's hard to say why.
Que savez-vous d'eux?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen. Do you?
Ça craint dans cette ville, montrez vieux doigt, on a besoin d'eux ici. Comme ça, ils pourraient nous donner le droit de fliquer Revachol. Ils ont merdé ici, vous avez vu cet endroit, ce n'est pas de l'humanisme. Nous sommes les larbins de la plus grande organisation bourgeoise du monde qui protège les droits de la bourgeoisie, murmurez en silence les immigrés, les kipsitéros, les putains d'hommes se transforment en femmes. Ah! Ah! Je n'ai pas d'opinion, oubliez ça. Bon, je dirais juste que Larbin, que c'est pas de l'humanisme, que c'est de la merde.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Ça me suffit d'être un simple justicier, ouais, j'aime pas ça. J'aime pas ça.
Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
Il regarde le rond-point.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over.
Ne rien dire, vous contentez d'observer la nuit.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on
Gros
his
mood
lenses.
gros mood
The lieutenant
Blade Runner.
looks
Hein.
at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Cuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Pourquoi ils sont comme ça?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
Et à Jamrock et au Pigre.
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
Il regarde la silhouette sombre du monument équestre qui se découpe dans le ciel nocturne.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
J'espère que notre enquête contribuera à améliorer la situation ici, à faire au moins un peu de bien.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Merci.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Eh ben... À demain. Good night, Kim. Ciao.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam.
Je vais quand même essayer, hein. Creuser au plus profond de l'esprit pour essayer de repérer la source de l'expression.
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place.
Tant pis. Je voulais tenter, hein, mais... Attends, j'ai toujours pas essayé de récupérer ma cravate.
This fan has 2 chain pull switches.
Ah merde.
One ends in a
Bon. On va fermer la porte. Et allez, on va se coucher. Je vais sauvegarder avant quand même. Est-ce que vous êtes prêts pour les nuits? C'est bizarre comme question, hein. Est-ce que vous êtes prêts pour les nuits? Bonsoir, Papy Bullman. Comment ça va, poteau? T'arrives pour la nuit? Bon, moi ça va. Écoute, hein, fatigué, mais ça va. On est là. Allez, se glisser dans le lit. C'est parti pour la nuit.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin.
Bon, je peux rester.
The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come.
Mais j'ai envie de dormir.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Pourquoi?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Examinez l'oreiller.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps.
Ça c'est moi toutes les nuits. Hein.
Smells oddly.
Putain, ça s'écrit comme ça, la tête d'oreiller. J'ai toujours dit la tête d'oreiller. Bref.
Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease.
Oula. Examinez la couverture.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm. Breathe, a bit tense in the muscles. Relax.
Se retourner.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Qui l'a tué? Qui? Arrêtez de penser, c'est l'heure de dormir. Qui l'a tué? Qui?
Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost
Ça c'est moi toutes les nuits.
brainwaves.
Arrêtez de penser, c'est l'heure de dormir.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
C'est parti.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Je me souviens de rien. Je suis né dans un hôpital où les gens se rendent généralement pour mourir. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
Je ne me souviens de rien.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Dis-moi qu'est-ce qui se passe? Je ne répondrai pas avant de savoir qui tu es. Tu as dit qui? Je suis parti. On m'a abandonné. Tu as dit qui?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
Je suis parti.
Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours? They were only cramping your descent into the abyss.
Je vais faire ma gueule, je vous laisse
Now
apprécier.
they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
Qu'est-ce qu'Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history.
J'adore la voix du doubleur, c'est incroyable.
You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
Je t'ai déjà parlé avant.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
Je peux en revenir.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
Mon esprit est fatigué et brisé. Il devient un peu cinglé, non? Un petit peu.
Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
De quoi? Non!
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
J'adore les passages de nuit. Non mais c'est bon, t'inquiète, on connaît son nom, Papyman, il s'appelle Harry Dubois. Il s'appelle Harry Dubois, on l'a appris de la part du chef des dockers.
Good going, buddy.
Bordel, c'était quoi ça? Je fais un très beau rêve, il était édifiant, revigorant. C'est ça ce qui se passera quand je fermerai les yeux à présent. Bordel, c'était quoi ça?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
Bordel, qu'est-ce qui tourne pas rond chez moi?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Qu'est-ce qui m'arrive?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline.
Non. Ça va aller, je vais pas me mettre à chercher du speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
Tu mens, je peux très bien y arriver sans speed et personne ne va mourir.
Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
J'ai vraiment envie de jouer Harry comme un mec qui est vraiment repenti. Qui a vraiment envie, tu sais, de s'en sortir de ouf en fait, tu vois. Je vais mettre un peu d'intellect. Parce Est-ce que je peux récupérer la cravate? Merde, c'était quoi qu'il fallait? J'ai pas cliqué. Oh, le con, c'était mise en scène. Bon, pas grave. Loser Tech Drogue. Let's go. Non, vraiment, je veux vraiment jouer mon perso comme un repenti. Genre, vraiment, qui vraiment s'arrête dans... Oh, c'est ouvert. Là, on peut remonter un petit peu, attends. Bonjour.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Then why are...
Salut Kim.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Pourquoi devons-nous leur parler? Que voulez-vous dire par chahuteur? Sur les types dont Garth nous a parlé hier? Pourquoi devons-nous leur parler?
Everything points to the Dock Workers Union. The belt used for hanging him. The circumstances in Martinez. My preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them.
Bon, en tout cas, j'espère que ce stream vous plaît, bien entendu. Vous voulez dire quoi par chahuteur?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here.
Ouais, ça vous plaît, bon, je suis content. J'espère que vous kiffez le jeu. Hein.
These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible.
The Hardy Boys, mec.
I think it's them.
La fatigue, ouais, je comprends. Quelle heure il est là? Putain, c'est vrai qu'il est déjà bientôt 23 h.
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said.
Force à toi, Sinistre.
One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
He's not exaggerating about that mortal danger. Just calmly factoring it in.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Non, on va pas leur parler tout de suite. Bonjour madame.
Just a moment.
Ouais, ça marche Sinistra. Bah écoute, bonne nuit à toi, hein. Repose-toi bien et à bientôt, hein. Gros bisous.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
Ça a l'air trop confus son plaid là. Bonne nuit Sinistra, gros bisous.
No public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Bonjour madame, tout va bien?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Pourquoi vous vouliez passer un coup de fil?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. But they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Oh.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
Bon, admettons, est-ce la première fois que votre mari disparaît?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
Ah, tu vois, c'est mal traduit. Est-ce la première fois que votre mari disparaît? Est-ce que votre mari a déjà disparu avant? C'est des trucs à la con, mais... Bon, bref.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
Vous pouvez me parler de cette expédition à laquelle participait votre mari? Votre mari est-il un scientifique? Parlez-moi de Morel, son apparence, sa personnalité, votre relation. Quel genre d'expédition?
Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Est-ce qu'on est dans un quartier dangereux? Une seconde, qui est Gary? Vous avez parlé de pièges, il y a peut-être un problème avec les pièges. Votre mari est... peut-être... il y a peut-être un problème avec les pièges?
I doubt it, sweetie. The traps aren't big enough for humans.
Non mais je veux dire...
ouais,
c'est vrai que j'avais pas vu ça comme ça, ouais.
Anyway.
Yes,
oh merde, pardon.
Some science fiction is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
Évidemment, j'accepte.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but... If you say so.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Ouais, je vais me faire engueuler.
Of course, dear.
Parle-moi de son apparence.
Dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
Décris-le.
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
Si on essayait de le retrouver dans la rue, quel genre de personne chercherait-on?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he
Longs
has
cheveux blancs
longish
décoiffés.
white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
Ok.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
Depuis combien de temps vous êtes ensemble?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn.
Putain, c'est récent.
Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced.
Oh.
We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful.
Bon, évidemment qu'on va chercher son mari. On va pas leur parler. On va pas leur parler tout de suite. Déjà, il faut qu'on aille décrocher le cadavre. On va aller demander à Jean-Luc de décrocher le cadavre. Et attention, mesdames et messieurs.
Looking for something?
Qu'est-ce que j'aime cette musique. Je vais lui acheter un sac. C'est où que je peux acheter un sac?
You see several packaged
Un imperméable.
Phil.
Là-bas, il y a quoi?
The tear machine stands in the corner.
Y a pas un endroit où elle vend des sacs?
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles. A colorful the bottles with there. In that dark, the beauty.
I'm obliged.
Know this.
Je veux voir c'est quoi comme alcool.
Never finish your alcohol.
Voilà, ok, donc non. J'ai dit que mon personnage, il était en rédemption. Donc non, mon personnage ne boira pas d'alcool. Il est en rédemption, il veut pas que ce qui s'est passé réarrive. Déjà, faut que je demande à Magnana les clés de là où il faut qu'on aille ouvrir.
How'd you like our harbor?
C'est pas mal.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
T'as une idée de qui a tué le pendu?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
Le port est une zone stupide à première heure, à ton avis, les dockers sont-ils impliqués dans le meurtre?
What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Poussé comment?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
Pardon?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Ce qui l'a
I
tué?
am the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men. With all
D'accord,
sorts
donc apparemment le mec était un ennemi des dockers.
He means a more violent faction could easily take care of such a thing.
Huh.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
Ok.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
J'en ai plein le cul des bots qui like mes stories Insta. La clé d'une porte.
Key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
J'attends que tu me le dises.
Of course, I got you. You don't know anything.
Non.
I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
J'ai vu une ouverture et je me suis engouffré. Je suis un opportuniste. J'ai entendu parler d'une fouine et que ça ne ressemblait pas à une fouine polaire. Je n'ouvre pas cette porte pour moi. Je l'ouvre pas pour tous les travailleurs. Je ne fais vraiment pas ça pour des raisons politiques.
Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing and rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Pourquoi vous êtes tous en grève?
We're negotiating our share.
Vos actions?
Aye.
C'est pas une histoire de salaire ou de retraite? Combien d'actions voulez-vous? Oh, je vois, c'est une question d'économie, y compris. Je veux parler d'autre chose. Vous faites pas une grève pour la salaire ou la retraite?
This stuff, they already covered.
Ne devrais-tu pas être reconnaissant? C'est déjà beaucoup qu'ils ont fait pour la plupart des gens du coin. Rire de droite. Moi, vous aurez les bénéfices, c'est déjà quelque chose, peu importe la quantité de nourriture que tu donnes au loup.
Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece.
Oh la flemme.
The man whispers a jaunty tune.
Allez, faut qu'on aille parler à Jean-Luc. Pour qu'il aille décrocher le corps. J'ai la flemme de rentrer dans le débat de l'économie et des actions, ça va me casser les couilles.
The unpromising, babe. See that they stay here the whole time.
On peut parler avec les meufs?
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Pourquoi êtes-vous avec Jauge Cabroche? Ouais, ici la loi, c'est nous, on dira bien. Pourquoi êtes-vous avec Jauge Cabroche?
Look at him. His craniometric perfection. Are you cops or what?
Ouais, ici la loi, c'est nous.
Ooh, I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Ah!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Cuno. Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past.
Ils vont se battre ou... Ok, non, c'est bon. Il a des tatouages incroyables par contre, c'est vraiment God of War. Hein.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
Il n'y a pas de camp à choisir, on a accompli notre devoir pour maintenir l'ordre.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
J'ai pas envie de lui parler. Sans déconner, il y avait des propositions de dialogue, j'ai pas envie de lui parler. Bon. Attends, je vais sauvegarder un petit coup. Déjà, qu'est-ce qu'il me veut, lui?
What's it to you? No, don't think we've met before.
The man has...
Non, je lui ai déjà demandé, donc la flemme, en fait, on peut partir. On va aller voir le cadavre, du coup, vu qu'il a été décroché. Oh, putain.
You see a set of tire tracks.
Oh! Alors, Cuno.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Shoot that shit at Cuno, pigonaut! So?
Il m'a dit que tu lui avais promis de lâcher les poulets sur lui. Il m'a dit que de te remercier, de toute façon, il n'avait pas vraiment envie de partir à la recherche de cette armure. Il m'a dit que tu es le roi de Jenbrock.
Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
Cuno sent your fat ass running around like jello!
Look, pig. Cuno sent you to rough some people up. Cuno played you. That happened. Now you and Cuno should move on.
Je m'en souviendrai, Cuno.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, griefing the Cuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Essayez de cerner ce gamin.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more. He could be useful.
Trying to fuck at the Cuno. Trying to fuck at me. Trying to fuck.
Allez, c'est reparti.
Cuno only gets higher. It's faster, faster, faster. Can't take the Cuno. Stay out of the reactor.
Cuno gonna fuck you up. Up, up, up.
Normal is not what...
Bon.
Cuno doesn't...
Cuno doesn't fucking care. Non, regardez ça.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud.
Let's go. Les examiner une par une.
1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 3. Hobnailed work boot.
Oui, bon, c'est des gros pieds, quoi.
Number 43. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46.
Une seconde, c'est laquelle?
You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is.
Certes.
The cold must have preserved them. 5. Another standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. 6. An aberration. Light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but impossible to tell.
Merde.
Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped.
Je me démerde pas mal, hein?
You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others.
Quelqu'un de très gros.
200 kilograms. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many?
400 millions. 8.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20.
Carrément à côté, hein. Carrément, quoi.
I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
Un pas léger, pointure 41.
Or a kid?
Ça pourrait être une femme.
Okay. How do you know?
He knows it's hard to discern sex from a person's gait.
J'en sais rien.
Understood. Anything else?
Un balèze, ajoute dans les 200 kilos.
200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker.
Pas con, ça.
A similarly built, soon to be dead man.
Pas con.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Je sais pas trop.
I do. One of them carried him over.
Une aberration, un pied plus léger que l'autre.
Interesting. Let's name it the odd soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? A drummer only uses their right foot for the kick drum. You're right, it's stupid. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect.
Ok. Pas con.
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you... Comment vous savez ça?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashon. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
Je vais pas me demander ce qui s'est passé parce que c'est évidemment le lynchage plus le pendu.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Ok. Magnifique. Essuyé d'une larme au coin de l'œil. Au moins on l'a décroché. Beau travail. Au moins on l'a décroché.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Alors, une autopsie.
1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The fuck are they on about?
Excusez-moi, je remettais mon micro. Hop, qu'est-ce qu'il raconte comme connerie? On n'a pas un spécialiste pour ça, un médecin?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup, to social work, everything.
Une seconde, le rang honorifique de détective? Ouais, c'est bien ce que je dis, je suis bien détective, ouais, je pense pas être détective.
An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. Usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is Lieutenant Detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the way I see it...
Il regarde le cadavre avec un certain dégoût.
It's either this, or we complete the initial interviews. We already met Evrard, that only leaves the Wild Pines representative. There's one in town, negotiating the strike.
Pas besoin de branler les mouches.
Not much later, I hope. He's about to melt away soon.
Allez, on va aller parler à la meuf de Wild Pin. Et ensuite, on ira faire le... Attention. Ensuite, on ira faire l'interrogatoire. Oh, la musique. Putain de bordel de merde. Bon, je sais où elle est, je vais pas faire genre. Hop. De l'argent. Ça me va aussi. Hop.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Qu'est-ce qui nous a trahis?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Lui serrer la main.
I'm glad to see you here.
Sa poignée de main est ferme et froide.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
Bon. Allez, on a plein de questions, madame. Vous êtes sur un bateau?
Why, yes I am.
Il n'y a pas beaucoup de gens en bateau, non? Il a un nom, ce bateau? Vous avez un permis de bateau? Il y a pas beaucoup de gens en bateau, non?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Attendez, on est sur une archipel?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Le Caillou! Je crois qu'on était à Revachol. Non, parce que j'ai jamais vu quelqu'un naviguer sur un bateau. Le Caillou? Je crois qu'on était à Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Le Caillou! Parce que j'ai jamais vu quelqu'un naviguer sur un bateau ici.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Il a un nom?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
Ça vous plaît?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
La crème de la crème.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Je commence à avoir assez sur ce bateau. Parlez-moi de Wild Pine. Que faites-vous chez eux?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Alors, que fait le groupe?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
Combien d'argent possède Wild Pine?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Ah ouais, quand même. Impressionnant.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
Une vague frappe le sloop et elle saisit le mât pour ne pas perdre l'équilibre.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
D'où sortent tous ces milliards?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Ah oui, bien sûr.
Centuries of care, deliberation and madness have gone into this endeavour. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Qui a l'intention de faire un système aussi énorme avec un endroit comme celui-ci? Regardez autour de vous.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% de tout le fret dans le monde, c'est en effet une sacrée entreprise et vous ne faites pas vous-même le transport, ce sont les travailleurs qui le font, l'entreprise n'est rien sans eux. C'est tout ce que je voulais savoir. Bah non, bah oui.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
Okay. Que pouvez-vous me dire sur cette grève?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Et si je veux savoir, quel est votre rôle dans tout ça précisément?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike.
Ah oui, de ouf.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Donc la grève a un lien avec le lynchage.
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
Comment se passaient les discussions avant le lynchage?
I'd say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Hop.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Excusez-moi, je faisais juste un truc à côté, en écoutant.
There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes, keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Quelles sont leurs revendications?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it.
J'ai pas envie de dire des trucs politiques, donc je m'engage pas.
The signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Voilà.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Je vais pas me politiser, donc qu'allez-vous faire?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags.
Je me suis mute.
Disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
L'éruption de la porte, c'est vous qui les avez envoyés?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
Non, je parlais des roufions, j'appelle les briseurs de grève. Appelons-les des briseurs de grève, c'est vous qui les avez déployés ici. Vous avez raison, je ne sais pas ce qui m'a pris. Non, je parlais des roufions.
If these workers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
Okay.
Not yet, at least.
Que pensez-vous d'Evrard?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick it,
c'est très grossophobe, ça, madame.
You could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Vous en parlez comme si vous étiez point de le trouver avec une rapière. Pas un doute, vous parlez bien d'Evrard.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Attendez, il y en a deux comme lui?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Ce bon vieux coup de... Qu'un du syndicat lui-même, en dehors des frères Claire.
The Daybarders Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Debarders are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Excusez-moi, je lis un petit peu.
The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Daybarders Union is...
Je suis en train de pas avoir d'opinion.
Of course, officer. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Uh-huh.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Une femme a disparu?
Her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
Comme c'est bizarre.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally. Time to choose sides.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it.
Je veux pas donner d'opinion. C'est pas mon travail.
Corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course.
Je veux pas choisir de camp. Je veux pas choisir de camp.
I'm not a corrupt verm myself. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take. It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is... He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of...
Ah oui, c'est vrai que je viens de balancer quand j'ai perdu mon flingue.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you. Of course, detective. Until then, is there anything I
que pouvez-vous me dire sur le lynchage?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
Oh.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi, from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, detective?
Vous vous souvenez quand mon collègue a dit que j'ai récemment souffert d'une crise médicale inhabituelle, la perte de mon insigne allié.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
C'est possible. Après une nuit de grande consommation d'alcool, je l'ai perdu. J'ai perdu tout souvenir de ma vie et du monde. Oui.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Comment puis-je m'en sortir par la négociation? Allez, on tente.
Feelings will guide the way.
Madame, je dois savoir ce qui s'est passé avec ce lynchage. C'est très important pour moi. C'est l'affaire sur laquelle je travaille.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Ce bateau, par exemple, c'est une maison quelque part. Moi, je n'ai que cette affaire.
Officer.
Je me souviens de rien sauf de ce lynchage. Pour moi, il n'y a que cette côte et ce lynchage.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just
Bon, je trouverai mon insigne.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Bonne nuit, Dwelly. Gros bisous à toi. Merci d'être resté. Tu es beau. Merci beaucoup. Ah non, putain, je croyais que tu allais te coucher. Elle a dit bonne nuit il y a quasiment une heure. C'est pas grave. Elle a dit ça à 22h20. 22h28. C'est pas grave, Dwelly, j'ai compris après, excuse-moi.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Ouais.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable.
Je suis toujours là en Shadows. Bah je sais, c'est pour ça que je suis dans ton récap Twitch. Beau gosse. Tu m'as confondu avec quelqu'un d'autre, moi je suis un extrémiste. Tout à fait, monsieur je suis monsieur raisonnable. Tu sais parce que je réponds toujours par aucune des réponses précédentes dans les sondages d'opinion politique, pas vrai?
The air suddenly feels calmer.
Ça se passe bien, bon écoute, c'est beaucoup de lore, donc en vrai je parle pas beaucoup, j'en écoute surtout les gens parler, mais sinon ça se passe bien, ouais, écoute, tranquillement. J'ai mal au crâne, mais ça va. Le problème avec ce jeu, c'est que c'est pas un jeu où tu peux beaucoup parler, quoi. À part que j'entendais que ça pète au loin là-bas, moi. Calme, quoi. C'est où le royaume de la conscience? Assez discuté, et je suis prêt à me faire naturaliser.
That's a pity. Real democracy was just around the corner for Revachol.
Je sais pas trop ce que j'ai dit là, mais c'est pas grave.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and you know, not volunteer us to be her henchmen. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. No, if there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Okay.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Donc vous savez quelque chose sur les tatouages?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Bon, eh ben tant pis. Non, attends, je vais leur demander pour le tatouage.
That's the man who was killed.
Pourquoi? Quel lien entre le lynchage et vous qui regardez la photo?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Bon. Faut que je retrouve mon insigne. Je pense que je vais pas tarder à couper par contre. Parce que je travaille demain quand même. Alors si je rentre là, il se passe quoi? Attends, il y a un truc là. Trop stylé. Ok, dégoûté. Bah attends, je suis pas parti, Dolly. Je suis encore là, hein. T'inquiète pas, tu es là, je suis là, nous sommes là. Le mec pense qu'à lui. Ah. C'est quoi ça?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Pourquoi est-ce que je contemple ce mur?
You have no clue. So many walls all over Martinez.
Okay.
Weather-worn.
Oui, j'ai sommeil, oui, moi je travaille, oui, bah Dwelly, bébou. Tiens, je vais la choper elle.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
Pigs come to take me out, trying to snuff me out.
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Pourquoi tu dis ça?
Then why are you sneaking up on me like that?
Oh, casse-couille, j'aime pas les enfants. Surtout les enfants comme ça. Y a quoi ici? Bonnet. Let's go. Oh là 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 là, quel style. En vrai, je suis éclaté aussi. Ah.
The basement door is weather-worn.
On va évidemment y aller.
Holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. The royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't, in fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
I guess no one is in? Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, then I'm willing to look over it. On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrard we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task, you make the call.
The door is right. You try to be
Non, je vais ouvrir. Je veux savoir ce qu'il y a dedans, moi.
a bit of rattling of the handle.
Je suis éclaté aussi. Ah bah je comprends, Dolly.
Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Good job. Let's go now. I'm sure there's nothing interesting in there. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft, a whistle.
Imagine, il y a mon insigne et mon gun. Un livre du monde caché des phasmes. Vous sentez presque la chaleur du soleil rouge sur le drapeau.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun.
C'est quoi le miracle?
This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
C'est quoi le miracle du soleil septuple?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Lieutenant, l'ancien drapeau du suzerain.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric.
Vous pouvez s'incliner, j'ai pas compris.
Like all feudal flags.
Je veux pas de trucs politiques. Oh non, je préfère celle que j'ai du coup. Admire les héros musclés et blonds. Oh.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
Je comprends rien.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Bon, allez, on se casse. C'est très étrange comme truc. Là, rien, il y a une porte, là, je peux y aller ou pas?
There must be another way into the building.
Oh, comment ça m'a enculé les oreilles, mec! Oh! Oh, putain! Attends. Oh! Mec, ça m'a enculé les oreilles, c'était un screamer. 2h34. Faut que je le clip. Mec, c'était vraiment un screamer. Il a parlé à 800 décibels, l'enculé. Ça m'a fait trop peur. J'ai vraiment cru qu'il y avait un truc qui pétait sur mon PC. Ça m'a trop fait peur, mec. Oh putain, j'ai... Oh la vache, ça m'a fait trop peur. Tu sais quoi, vas-y, en vrai, je pense qu'on va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Sans déconner, ça m'a fait trop peur. Bon, on va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. C'était pas un long stream, je suis désolé. Je travaille demain, mais de toute façon on y retournera très très vite en vrai. On y retournera très très vite parce que moi ça me plaît vraiment de ouf. Peut-être un jour, peut-être ce week-end, enfin dimanche, on commencera un stream très très tôt et on ira sur Disco Elysium assez tôt. Assez tôt Corsa, très très bon jeu ça. Ouais, je fais des références de gaming, écoute, on fait ce qu'on peut. Hop, bon. Bah du coup, je vais vous souhaiter à tous une très très bonne nuit comme d'habitude. Hop. Je vous mets évidemment un petit peu de musique. Je vous laisse. On se revoit vendredi soir, certainement pour Kiwami 2. Gros bisous. Merci d'être venu. Ciao.